everyone. I'm Arana Rodriguez. I'm a sustainability engineering major at the University of San Diego.
And I'm Kemi Adediran. I'm a senior chemical engineering major at Howard University. This summer, we worked with Emilia and the PSI team on creating community resources for the Railbelt Decarbonization project. So this is just a quick overview of our presentation. You're going to see it a couple more times today, so I'm not really going to read through it, but if everybody could pull out their phones and scan the QR code on the screen, it'll take you to the community resources that we made this summer. There's also a link at the end of the ACEP email that was just sent, so if you don't have time to scan it, you can also look there. So this summer we were tasked with creating community resources for the Railbelt Decarbonization project. Basically, that's just a report that kind of goes through the feasibility of implementing decarbonization solutions in Alaska's energy grid by 2050.
Yeah, so for our project, we had two separate parts. The first part was creating various maps and writing different articles published through a platform called ArcGIS StoryMaps. So it combines maps and articles on that platform.
And I created Zines. The word zine is short for magazine, but it's basically a short and self-published publication that can be used to kind of express ideas about pretty much anything. Historically, zines have been used in like social and political movements to inform communities about happenings and news and things like that.
Okay, so these are examples of the different community resources that we did if you guys are looking through the document. On the left, we have the two different zines that we created, and then on the right, we have examples of articles that we created. In total, we wrote 6 different articles, and you guys can read through those on your own time, but they're either about the Railbelt Decarbonization project or about different renewable energy sources and kind of explaining them.
And the zines that we created kind of cater to a younger audience, so young adult and college age students and children, because I feel like sometimes those demographics get left out of the conversation for energy and power, but it still affects them every day, right? We all turn on the lights, we all use power and energy every day. So I kind of wanted to find a way to include them and create a accessible resource for them to learn more.
Yeah, and we also wanted to make sure that college students were a part of this audience, especially since ACEP is a part of UAF, a college campus.
All right. Some of our research project goals were to hone communication skills and effectiveness of resources and create multiple different resources for multiple different purposes. I personally am the co-founder of a nonprofit called Table 33 that is focused on educating my community about environmental injustice and social justice broadly. So I wanted to kind of figure out new ways that I could inform my community about social happenings.
Another big goal for us this summer was working together as a team. Originally, we were going to have 2 separate projects, but we kind of just started working on them together. So we created both of them at the same time, which is really exciting. And then also having and creating mutually beneficial outreach and having tangible resources for communities of Alaska. I personally am Indigenous, so making sure that the Indigenous perspective was included throughout our projects was really important as well.
Throughout our project, we focus on the big picture, and that is that community resources make science and technical work very accessible. And we catered our work to people who might not have a STEM background, but still want to learn more about renewable energy in Alaska and the benefits of decarbonization. So when you're looking at our resources, kind of think from that perspective.
And these were the different research methods that we used throughout our summer. The first 2 are ArcGIS Pro online software and ArcGIS StoryMaps platform. So those are the ones we used in order to create our maps and write our different articles. And then we used Canva for all of our graphic design and zine part of our project. And then online and library research was a huge part of our project as well, especially since we're not from Alaska. So making sure we were educated on the different renewable energy sources and history of Alaska here. So yeah, we use a lot of different design and education platforms and resources, and a huge resource for us this summer was the Makerspace, the Mills Lab.
Shout out Grant, he helped us a lot this summer and made us feel very welcome in the Makerspace in Jackson. So
yeah, this project wouldn't be possible without them. So yeah.
Some of the lessons we learned, well, some of the challenges we faced were the design process and using new art mediums, communication with outside sources, and zine making process. I know for me and Arana, we both come from engineering backgrounds, so we really don't have the ability to be creative in our work and our, in our coursework. So being able to express that this summer was a really fun and gratifying experience. Also communicating with outside resources. For our zine, we reached out to a lot of people for contributions. But some people responded, some people didn't, that's okay. So kind of just learning to work with the resources that we're given and still creating a very fun and informative project with what we have. And the zine printing process, that's something that we didn't get to, but we hope to in the future distribute our zines to people.
Thank you to all the interns for submitting submissions for our zine, by the way. Some changes we would make with our project is definitely having more community interaction and interviews for articles. We were able to conduct 2 interviews for one of the articles, but going forward, it would definitely be nice to incorporate different perspectives and different voices as well. Some advice to future interns would be to definitely do your research, especially if you're not coming from being here from Alaska, you're coming from somewhere else. Understanding the history is really important. Asking as many questions as you can and learning from your mentors is extremely important as well. But also making sure to kind of just enjoy the process and have fun. I know we only have 10 weeks, but I wish it was longer. So just making sure that we're able to spend time outside in nature as well as important.
And to conclude, our successes include learning more about Alaska's energy history and makeup as a whole. Being at the extreme of a kind of situation was really interesting. So I feel like I learned so much about energy and power and like how things work in Alaska, just in general, and fully conceptualizing and developing community resources. I feel like Arana and I like pretty much started from the bottom up with our project. So, being able to build something completely was a really gratifying process. And we're proud of the research that we did here this summer, and we hope that you guys like the resources that we made as well.
Yeah, definitely our biggest challenge, like we mentioned earlier, was not being able to fully distribute our resources and print out all the zines. But we're looking forward to that being the next step in this project and process. And what we enjoyed the most this summer was being able to meet all of the new people here at ACEP and our wonderful cohort and learn from everybody here, as well as have the opportunity to express and translate technical work in an artistic and creative manner. Like Kemi said, we don't really have the opportunity to do that in our studies. So that was something really important to us as well. Anyone has any questions?
How can people access the digital links that you sent to us? Like, are those going to be public in the meantime before the physical copies are distributed? Or
yeah, so they're digitally available right now, but we hope that they're printed eventually. But if you scan the QR code or you press the link at the end of that email that I sent earlier, you can see everything there.
Right. Is that going to be online though?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and then also all the articles that we wrote this summer are already published, so.
I was just gonna ask whose zine submission from the cohort was your favorite?
That's such a hard question.
I will say everyone had a completely different submission. We gave everyone kind of options to choose from, and we thought that people would kind of just submit pictures. But everyone was really creative. Liam, for example, has a whole poem in our zine that is showcased.
It's a great poem, guys.
They're all really good. We can't choose.
Love you all. Thank you.